Today we will going to see the GI system disease. Okay, I will share my screen. Audio, video, is it clear now? See, I am sharing the screen. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now today we will going to see the gastrointestinal system. In that the diseases are there according to your syllabus. Peptic ulcer. Today we will going to see the peptic ulcer. Okay. Peptic ulcer means what? Peptic ulcer. Ulceration, you know, na? Ulceration, you know? Ulceration means any type of the wound, scratch, infection, isn't it? That is the mucosal ulceration. Mucosal ulceration. Okay. Mucosal ulceration. Ulceration means what? Any type of the wound, infection, scratches over that mucosal part. So due to what? Due to exposure to the acid peptic secretions. Due to acid peptic secretion. Now we will see acid peptic secretions in our stomach. SCL is there. Peptic enzymes, pepsins are there, isn't it? So many enzymes are there. If it is within the normal range, if it is within the normal range, it will not happen the mucosal secretion. If it over secretion, if its secretion is overloaded, then only we have to face the ulceration. Okay. Though ulcers can occur at any level of the alimentary tract, GI tract, alimentary tract, that is the GI tract. But most common locations where we will get most common locations, that is the first part of the duodenum and followed by stomach. Duodenum, which part? Which part?
Starting part of the intestine.
Which intestine, small or large?
Small.
Yes, very nice. Duodenum, it is the first part of the small intestine. Actually, most common locations are duodenum and stomach. Okay, though it is occur at any level of the GI tract, any level of the alimentary tract, but almost commonly it occurs in the first part of the duodenum. That also duodenum, this is the first part of the small intestine, and that also, in that also first part of the duodenum. Okay, location, and followed by sometimes stomach. We will see the difference afterwards. Okay. Rarely the peptic ulcers may occur in the cardiac end of the esophagus. Where it occurs? Rarely in the cardiac end of the esophagus, bowel area, jejunum, and termed accordingly. Okay, rarely, not occasionally. Occasionally, commonly it is where duodenum and stomach, but rarely it is, occasionally it appears in the cardiac end of the esophagus, bowel area, jejunum, which part? That is the duodenum, jejunum, ileum, isn't it? Small intestine, second part. Okay, let it be, and termed accordingly. Okay. Now see here, what is the main cause of this ulceration? Pepsin is a proteolytic enzyme. Proteolytic enzyme, pepsin, actually where it is present? In the stomach. In the stomach, which enzymes are there? Pepsin is also there, and hydrochloric acid is also there, HCl. Okay. Pepsin is a proteolytic enzyme which along with the gastric hydrochloric acid, which two are there. HCl is also there in the stomach and pepsin is also there. Okay. For what purpose? For digestion of the food. So many here the functions are there. Hydrochloric acid to kill the bacteria and keep the acidic media, something. Okay. But here we will take for the digestion of the food. Okay. Pepsin, hydrochloric acid. For what purpose here? For the digestion of the food. Normally, these secreted acid and pepsin do not produce any type of the ulceration. Actually, normally, if it is secreted, normally within the limit, it secretes acid. Within the limit, it secretes pepsin. Then there is no production of any type of the ulceration, as protective and aggressive factors work within their range. Two types are there. Protectives also there, aggressive factors are also there, but they are hand to hand, they are working, isn't it? Not too much and not too less, isn't it? Within the limit, then there is no problem of ulceration. But what happen in case overactivity of the aggressive factors or damage of the protective factor or both may lead to peptic ulceration? If it secretes more, it aggressive in nature, overactivity of the aggressive factors or damaging of the protective factor, or sometimes what happen, the protective factor will be damaged, and due to that, if either or, okay, either it is aggressive factors are more, or otherwise the protective layer is damaged, or both sometimes may results into peptic ulcer. This is all about the summary of this peptic ulcer, why it is. Okay, now see classification: acute peptic ulcer and chronic peptic ulcer. Acute, that is due to stress, we can call as a stress ulcer also, we can call. Okay, stress, everywhere the stress will come, isn't it? Acute peptic ulcer and chronic peptic ulcer. Chronic, it is divided into again gastric and duodenal ulcer, again divided into gastric and duodenal. One by one we will see. Acute peptic ulcer we can also call it as a stress ulcer also. Okay, these are small multiple mucosal ulcers, patches are there. Okay, usually seen in the stomach and occasionally in the duodenum. Here you have to keep the difference. Okay, see here, occasionally in the duodenum, this ulcer, acute ulcer, seen in the stomach, actually usually seen in the stomach and occasionally in the duodenum. Okay, stress is the most important etiological factors. What is the main cause? That is the stress. Everywhere we are seeing nowadays, see, you are listening this, you are learning these diseases, everywhere the stress factor is there. So that's why every time I used to say that, when how to relieve the stress, how to relieve the stress, because day to day stress, again it is increasing day to day, day by day, isn't it? At any reason, nowadays corona is there, due to that corona reason economic factor will hamper some, everything, families are disturbing because of this one. So these are the factors. This stress is the most important here, etiological factor for ulcers. Hence, it is also called as a stress ulcer. Okay, acute, it is most important etiological factor. That's why it is called as a stress ulcer. Okay, where it occurs, mostly it is seen in the stomach and occasionally in the duodenum, now see the etiology, so many factors are also there, but important factor is stress. That's why it is called as a stress ulcer. Okay, now other etiology is also there, you see here: psychological stress, physiological stress. Okay, psychological, mentally, physiological, working stress. Okay, septicemia. Okay, extensive burns, intracranial regions, shock, severe trauma, alcohol intake, smoking, due to smoking, due to drug intake, OTC products are there, isn't it? So aspirin, steroids, indomethacin, these are the other etiology, other the positive agents. But mostly, most important etiological factor, positive agent is stress. Okay, these are the other things. Okay, now see the, what do you mean by chronic ulcer? These are of two types. Which are those one? Duodenal ulcer and which one? Duodenal ulcer and gastric ulcer. Okay, duodenal ulcer and gastric ulcer. We will see one by one. Now see the duodenal ulcer. Duodenal ulcer, these are the ulcer that develop in the which part? Upper section of the small intestine, that is called as duodenum. That is called as a duodenum. That's why the name is duodenal ulcer. Okay, these are commonly seen in the age group 40 to 50 years. In which age group? 40 to 50 years of the age. In both the axes. Means what? Male as well as female, both sexes, that is male and female, above mean in the range of 40 to 50. Okay, what is the main etiology? Same, that is the stress, anxiety, cigarette smoking, excessive consumption of the tea, coffee. This is also injurious, isn't it? If we will take in the at the limit, that is okay. Okay, but with yes, participants, mute all of you
हॅलो
yourself.
हा बोला ना.
Sidhu Damle.
मॅम आवाज येत नाही.
आता येतोय का?
येस मॅम.
Yes, ma'am.
तुम्ही तुम्हाला म्यूट करा रे, नाहीतर मला काय करावं लागतं, रागवत बसण्यापेक्षा मग मी काय करते, ऑल म्यूट करते. मग ते काय होतंय, माझं सेकंड को होस्ट चाललंय ना, मग मी पण म्यूट होते ना, मग तिथे असा प्रॉब्लेम येतो. त्यामुळे तुम्ही स्वतःला फोन घेऊन बसता, फोन येतोय, फोनवर बडबडताय काय सिद्धू? हा, काही थोडं तरी गांभीर्य ठेवा, सिरियसनेस ठेवा. प्रत्येक वेळेस तेच 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 पाल्ला लावण्यापेक्षा मलाही कंटाळा येतो ना तुम्हाला तेच सांग. ज्यांना सिरियसली लेक्चर करायचे, दॅट पीपल ओनली, दॅट स्टुडंट ओनली जॉईन. If you want to take other this mobile and calls and everything, don't come here for time pass. Something you have to take serious, no? What I done here, all mute side, and here I am with mobile also, means I am here in mobile, other mobile, that is I am co-host here. Okay, let it be. Anyhow, we have to complete, no time we have. Your exams are there at which date? On which date?
Ma'am, today is our mock test.
And actual test exams? Don't know. They will come. The exam is on the coming soon. Okay, let it be. Etiology: stress, anxiety, cigarette smoking, isn't it? Excessive consumption of tea, coffee, irregular spicy diet due to H. pylori infection. Actually, H. pylori, it is there in our body, GI tract. But if it is, again, I am saying within the limit, it is okay. Beyond the limit, it causes infection, and due to that, ulceration. Due to acid hypersecretion, bronchial asthma, bronchial carcinoma, okay, cirrhosis of the liver, due to reduced bicarbonate production. Actually, you know, if acidity is there, we will take the alkali, isn't it? So if this is the protective function in our body. Both the layers are there, both the functioning are there, but if it is within the limit, then it is okay. Then if the bicarbonate level is reduced, then what happen? Ulceration will take place due to what? Overproduction of HCl, and due to reduced production of bicarbonate. Okay, maybe chances are there. Etiology: diminished mucosal resistance, see here, and reduces the mucosal resistance. This is what? Protective. This is the protective in one. This bicarbonate, this mucosal resistance, isn't it? This is the mucosal protection. These are the protective layers. Okay. And what are the main? overproduction of the gastrin, overproduction of the histamine, Cushing syndromes. Cushing syndrome, pituitary gland, okay, cortisol, if it is increased more, then maybe chances of this duodenal ulcer. Are you understood this one? Etiology. Etiology, so many are there, causative agents in the duodenal ulcer. Which part we are seeing here? Chronic ulcer, okay. So stress also there, anxiety, one of the part of this stress, that is anxiety, tension, worry, this causes the stress, isn't it? Cigarette smoking, alcohol intake, excessive consumption of tea, coffee, irregular diet, spicy diet, H. pylori infection, acid hypersecretion, bronchial asthma, isn't it? Cirrhosis of the liver, reduced bicarbonate production. If the acidity is there, we will take the soda, isn't it? This is the bicarbonate, alkaline. Diminished mucosal resistance, sometimes overproduction of the gastrin, secretions are there, overproduction of the histamine, isn't it? Allergic, Cushing syndromes, pituitary gland, the cortisol, okay. And second one, that is the gastric ulcer. What we seen just now, the duodenal ulcer. Now see here, the gastric ulcer. And after all, at the end, we will see the differentiation between the duodenal and gastric ulcer. Just listen now, the gastric ulcer. These are the ulcers that develop inside the stomach. Gastric, gastrum, isn't it? The name itself indicates it is present, it is developed inside the stomach. It is less common type of the ulcer. Most common, that is the duodenal ulcer. But stomach ulcer, that is we called as a gastric ulcer. Stomach ulcer we called as a gastric ulcer. It is less common type of the ulcer. These are commonly seen in the age group. Oh, which age group? 50 years and in both the sexes. Okay, male also and in the female also. Okay. These are commonly seen in the age group 50 years. Here 40 to 50 years. Okay, within the range 40 to 50 years. But here we can commonly seen in the age group of 50 years or above the 50 years. Okay, in both sexes, male and female. What are the main etiology here? H. pylori infection, not due to stress, but here mainly due to this stomach ulcer, gastric ulcer. It is mainly due to H. pylori infection, diminished mucosal resistance, deficient mucus barrier, gastritis infection. Gastritis, that is the tis means what? Inflammation of other, this one part, gastric means stomach. Inflammation of the gastrum means stomach. Stomach inflammation, gastritis. Prolonged NSAID therapy. This NSAID means what? Non-steroidal analgesic treatment means what? Which are those one? Aspirin, ibuprofen, diclofenac, isn't it? These are the NSAID therapy. Local trauma and ischemia, due to trauma or due to ischemias. Reflux of the bile. Sudden there is sometimes it will come into the stomach due to some of the working problem mechanism in the body. Refluxation of the bile. Okay. Which one this one? Pyloroduodenal reflex. Pyloroduodenal reflex. This is also, it will come. Refluxation is there beyond this one. So these are the etiology of this gastric ulcer. Which are those one? H. pylori infection, not due to here the stress and other this one material, but it is due to the main cause, that is the H. pylori infection, diminished mucosal resistance, deficient mucosal barrier, gastritis due to NSAID, because it is we are getting over the counter OTC products are there. Local trauma, ischemia, refluxation of the bile, and due to refluxation of pyloroduodenal material, it will come reflux. It will come to the stomach. Means reflux, we can say, what we can say in the Marathi? Against the this one, actually the walls are there, na? It should not come. But sometimes what happen, like vomiting, beyond that one, sometime only it will come. No, that means reflux, it will come, okay, into the stomach, and due to that it causes the gastric ulcer. Okay. Symptoms, most of the symptoms of the gastric and duodenal are same. Symptoms are same, but causes are little bit different. However, the duration, this is the main important. Duration, severity, progress may be different. Acute within half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 to 2 days, it is common duration. Okay, so what is the main differentiation? That is the duration, severity of the symptoms. This one progressive may be different, which is an important tool of the differentiation between. We will see lastly the differentiation. What are the common symptoms? That is the pain, discomfort, heartburn, gas bloating. Isn't it common? I think you this one you took the experience of this one, gastric ulceration means acidity and everything, isn't it? What are the common you experienced that one, isn't it, in your life? Pain, discomfort is there, heartburn is there, gas bloating is there, the daily clock-like recurrence is there of the pain usually occurs at the epigastric, okay, epigastric region, above the umbilical region, below the exactly below the diaphragm, okay, epigastric region, and occasionally around the umbilical region, okay, occurs the pain where in the epigastric region or occasionally sometimes in the umbilical region. Okay, epigastric region, understood this one, exactly below the diaphragm. In case of the gastric ulcer, pain is here, you have to see the differentiation. In case of gastric ulcer, pain is aggravated following the food intake, following the food intake. When the pain will come, when the pain is there, when you will take the food following the food intake, while in case of the duodenum, pain is experienced approximately 3-4 years after 3-4 hours after the food intake. Okay, means what here, this is called as a hunger pain. After 3-4 hours you will may be hungry, and this is called as a hunger pain. This is the duodenal ulcer. Due to hunger pain, it is observed in the duodenal ulcer. But here in the stomach, in the gastric ulcer, stomach ulcer, the pain is aggravated when you will have the food at the time of when the food is present in the stomach, that time the pain is there. And in the duodenal, exactly opposite. When 3-4 hours passed after your food, then again you will feel hungry, isn't it? That is, and due to that the pain is there. आपण म्हणतो मराठीत कावळे ओरडाले पोटामध्ये, पोट दुखायला लागले. मग केव्हा बरं वाटतं आपल्याला? When we will have our food, that time. This is the duodenal ulcer. If we will, in this duodenal ulcer, if we will not take the food in a proper time, in a definite time, then day by day, it is due to that, it causes the ulcer, may be aggressive, isn't it? Exaggerate the symptoms and causes the ulcer. This is the main difference. Okay. Burning, soreness, hunger, mid-morning pain, relieved after the food or milk intake are seen in the duodenal ulcer. When we will have, if the pain is there, if we will have the food, if we will have the milk, then it will relieve the pain. Okay, it is relieved after the food. These are the symptoms. Burning sensation is there, isn't it? जळजळणे आपण म्हणतो ना, burning sensation are there, soreness is there, hunger pain is there, mid morning pain is there, early in the morning sometimes we will get the pain. At what time you will get pain? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. This is our the food time, isn't it? So what happened here? But if you will take the milk, if you will take the food, then it will relieve. While the daytime pain, bloating, nausea, vomiting are the features of the gastric ulcer. When you have the food, that time what happened? The pain is there, bloating, gas bloating is there, nausea sensation is there, vomiting is there. These are in the gastric ulcer. Understood now? Gastric and duodenal. Again, we will see clearly. Now see here the diagnosis. Which type of the diagnosis we have to do? general investigation, that is the physical examination, in which the doctor will check the inflammation, tenderness of the stomach, recording the patient's history, everything here in the physical examination. Okay. Now next one, that is the blood examination. What we will take, reduce the HB level, we will see the HB level, we will see the ESR, we will see in the blood the presence of the H pylori, and according to that we have to consider, we have to diagnose, the doctor will diagnose, okay, which type of the this disease is there. Okay. Gastric function test, this is important. A series of tests performed to reveal overall clinicopathology of the ulcers. This is in the gastric function test. The functioning, the stomach function test means only the gastric function test. We have to take the series of the test, and due to that one we can understood what is the problem is there. Okay. And the radiology, that is the X-ray, you know, the barium ulcer, barium X-ray means this barium we have to, the doctor will say that you have to take the barium and then in the empty stomach. This is all about this X-ray will take in the empty stomach, isn't it? When we will go in the to take out our X-ray, they will give us the barium. Okay. And that we have to have. Okay. And what happened here, we will, when we will take this barium and then they will take out the X-ray, then the barium is the whitish in color, and X-ray, how we will take this one, how we will take the scratches where the ulceration region is there, we can see directly in the X-ray. Okay. We can see in the directly in the X-ray, due to that barium, it will adsorb in the that region. So that's why when we will take out the X-ray, that time we can see, after taking that X-ray, in that X-ray it will we can see the regions of the ulcerations. Okay. It is useful when endoscopy does not working. That time we can take this barium X-ray. It is less reliable, but 25% miss or 25% of the ulcer. Okay. But what is this one, endoscopy? It is good method. Reliable. Endoscopy means what? The camera, we will insert the camera into the GI tract, and that will take the photographs. So that's why we can understand very nicely the ulceration regions where are there. Okay. 95% it is effective, superior to this barium X-ray. Okay. So endoscopy means what? Little camera inside there, that in that tube, and we can take out the photographs of ulceration where it is there. So this is the good one, 95% is working. Now biopsy, we see in this one, biopsy. A needle is inserted into the stomach and to remove the piece of the tissue for examination. Okay. And we will check out that piece of the tissue, and we can undiagnose which part, which of the our disease is there. Okay. This will help to find out the exact cause of the ulcer. What type of this one, exact cause we can understand, the doctor will understand. Now stool antigen test. Stool antigen means we have to check out here our stool. How much pea-sized stool example is we have to give, and that will tested for the presence of H. pylori infection. Here we will check out by with the help of stool antigen test. Okay. Only a pea-sized stool we have to sample, we have to give. So these are our diagnosis. Which are those one? Physical examination, blood examination, everywhere the common is there, but the common sense we have to apply here. Which disease is there, and according to that we have to check out there. We have to write this one. Okay. So everywhere the physical examination there, blood examination is there, radiology is there, endoscopy is there, biopsy is there, isn't it? Everywhere. Okay. But here the uncommon things are there. What? Which type of the blood examination we have in that blood? Is screen is gayab or what? Now visible screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not seeing in my mobile, so that's why. Okay, let it be. So the test name is common, but what you have to write, we have to write in that test, that is the uncommon, isn't it? According to the disease, we have to write down in that test. Okay. So biopsy everywhere it is there, endoscopy everywhere there, blood examination everywhere there. But which type of testing we have to do, that is according to our disease. Okay. Here the uncommon, that is the stool antigen test is uncommon, and the barium radiology, in that which type of the x-ray we have to take, barium x-ray, isn't it? And uncommon the thing, that is the gastric function test. Okay, everywhere all the tests, general exam investigations, physical examination, but what you have to check in the physical examination, that is uncommon. That is, we have to check the inflammation, we have to check the tenderness of the stomach, isn't it? We have to take this one history, it is common. Okay, are you getting my point? Now see here the treatment. This is the common. Actually, we are also taking, isn't it? Non-pharmacological treatment means what? We are not taking here the drug. We are not taking here the medicines. Okay, this is the non-pharmacological therapy. Rest and diet modification. If you are taking the spicy food, then diet modification, you have to do this one. And rest, that is the important. Complete rest, especially in case of complicated ulcer, because we can't work, we can't mentally, it is also affecting, isn't it? If stomach pain is there, we can't give attention anywhere, isn't it? So stress is there, we can't give. So to relieve this stress, if treatment in the stress ulcer, in the acute ulcer, stress is there, so complete rest is should be necessary, especially in case of complicated ulcers. Rest is very important. Avoid the spicy, fatty, acidic foods, isn't it? Avoid the smoking, avoid alcohol. What are the causes are there? According to that, we have to remove that one. So avoid smoking, avoid the alcoholism, avoid tea, coffee, anything. Okay, acidic foods. Intake of recommended diet every 4 hours. Why every 4 hours? Because in the duodenal ulcer, what is there? Hunger pain is there, isn't it? So that's why in that case, you have to give the intake for that patient. You have to give the food for every 4 hours. That will helps to reduce the ulcer pain at the empty stomach. If the stomach is empty, then it causes the pain. And due to that, we have to recommend the diet for every 4 hours. Okay. Now see the lifestyle modification. We have to modify our lifestyle. Stress relieving therapy, always stress relieving therapy. In the early in the morning, you have to do the meditation for charging our battery, isn't it? We are not charging ourselves. So stress relieving therapy, if you like to listen the music, if you like to enjoy something another to relieve the pain, what you like, that you have to do, isn't it? If you like to relieve, if you like to enjoy the dance, if you like to enjoy the singing, then do that one. That's why our hobbies, you have to keep, you have to maintain that one. This is the very important for your life. These are our stress relieving therapies are there, isn't it? So and avoidance of the stress can promote the healing of the ulcer. If you once you will avoid the stress, no, nothing should be there in the mind, nothing thoughts are no thoughts in your mind, then it you can relieve the stress. That's why it improves. This is a non-pharmacological therapy. We are not giving here any type of the drug, isn't it? Now see here the pharmacotherapy means what? We have to give here the medicines. Okay, which type of the their acid secretion is there? We so that's why we have to give here antacids. Antacids are help to neutralize the stomach, means acid secretion is more, that's why we have to relieve, we have to neutralize that acid. So that's why we have to give here the antacids. Okay, for the short term basis, these are either absorbable or non-absorbable, both types are there. Okay, according to the signs and symptoms we will give. Okay, doctor will give. Absorbable, that is the sodium bicarbonate, it will get absorbed into the blood. Okay, but non-absorbable, it will produce a coating. It will produce a protective coating over the linings, over the GI tract. So that's why what happened, though it is there is a secretion of the pepsin, secretion of the acid, these are the harm products, isn't it? It will not causes any ulceration due to this. These are the protective coating. These are the protective coating. These are not absorbing into the blood, but it causes what? It is, these are the non-absorbable type, aluminum hydroxide, aluminum gelusil, you know, the advertisement of gelusil on the TV, isn't it? So these are the non-absorbable type. It comes under non-absorbable type. So these causes what? These will produce a protective coating. So that's why though the in the stomach, in your stomach, the secretions are there, HCl secretion is there, though it is secretions of the pepsin is there, it will not causes any ulceration. It will not cause any harm to your GI, your mucosal membrane of the GI tract. So that's why it is comes under protective. Okay, and here in the absorbable one, which is this one, sodium bicarbonate, it causes directly acid versus alkali, isn't it? If more acid, according to, if you will give alkali, it will neutralize. Okay, or it will give this is called as a neutralizing effect. Neutralizing effect, this is absorbable one. Now the second one, that is the H2 blocker, means what? Due to histamine also, one of the cause is there, the histamine. So we have to block the H2 receptor which are secreting histamine. If we will block these acid secretion, obviously no secretion of histamine, no acidity, isn't it? Now we are taking here the ranitidine, famotidine, isn't it? These are the examples. Simple examples are there. Now next one, the proton pump inhibitors. So many doctors, they will prefer direct omeprazole, lansoprazole, pantoprazole, isn't it? These drugs inhibit the final common step of the acid secretion. Directly they will block the acid secretion. Thus, these are the effective drugs. Any type of the secretion means acid secretion, they will directly, final step, that they will directly block here. So that's why this is the effective one. So most of the doctors will prefer these proton pump inhibitors medicines. Omeprazole, you may heard this one, listen this, heard, isn't it? Omeprazole, lansoprazole, pantoprazole, isn't it? Now next one, that is the ulcer protective agents. Ulcer protective agent, they will coat, they are not absorbing. What they will, the drug, they will do the protective coating over the this mucosal area, and that's why prevent the injury from the back diffusion of the back. Any if this effusion is there, they will block. Reflux sensation is there, we due bile refluxation, acid refluxation, that will be inhibited, that will be inhibited, prevent, isn't it? These are the what? Protective. Though maybe if a reflection is there, then it will not cause any type of the harm to the mucosa of the stomach. Due to what? Due to coating, due to this protective coating. Yes, this one example is the sucralfate, colloidal bismuth, isn't it? Sometimes the this so lotions will these solutions they will give, isn't it? The protective emulsions, suspensions they will give, isn't it? This is one of this one, sucralfate. Okay, sucralfate, colloidal bismuth is there. These are all causes what? The protection, or protection over the mucosa of the stomach. Okay, this, so that's why we call it as a protective coat. So that's why no hamper will take place, no damage will take place. Okay, now see here the next one, that is the ulcer healing agent. Means what? They inhibit the gastric secretion. Here what they will do, they inhibit the gastric secretions, increase the mucosal blood flow, and reduce the mucosal damage, which ultimately lead to rapid healing. What type? Inhibit the gastric secretion and increase the mucosal blood flow, and reduces the mucosal damage also. They will reduce here the damaging of the mucosal membrane, and that's why ultimately rapid healing is there. This is the ulcer healing agent. These are the ulcer healing agent. Example, that is the prostaglandin. Many times ulcer healing agents and ulcer protectives are used in combination. Both this and this. Sometimes doctors will combinedly they will prescribe. Okay. And next one, that is the antibiotic, major one. If there is any type of the infection, that is the H. pylori and something, to kill that H. pylori, we have to give the antibiotics. Okay, which type of the antibiotics? Example, 1 2 example that is sufficient for you. Amoxicillin, metronidazole, tetracycline, 2 3 example you have to keep in your mind. This is all about the treatment. Means non-pharmacological also we see, and the pharmacological therapy also we see. Okay. In the pharmacology, antacids are there, H2 blockers are there, proton pump inhibitors, protective agents are there, ulcer protective agents are there, ulcer healing agents are there, isn't it? And antibiotics for what? For killing of the H. pylori bacteria. Okay. This type of the infection, for that infection we have to use here the antibiotics. Now lastly, what is their surgery? Lastly, if not, then we have to do the surgery. This that ulceration area we have to remove by the surgery. The surgery for ulcers rarely needed because of the effective pharmacology, because we are nowadays we are having too many this one drugs are there. Effective pharmacotherapy is there, drug treatment are there, nice one. So rarely, if not possible, last stage we will do the surgery. Weight loss, development of the complication, anemia, malabsorption, isn't it? These are the syndrome for after the post-operative problems. If we will do the surgery, then what happens? The common symptoms are there. Weight loss is there, development of complications, so many complications due to that surgery, anemia, malabsorption syndrome, and the other all the symptoms may be there after this one. Post operative problems are there, post operative after surgery maybe it develops. Okay, now see the complications: hemorrhage there, malignancy, cancer will be there, perforation, sometimes gastric outlet obstruction is there. If not success this surgery, then these may be the complications are there. Now see the major, that is the gastric ulceration and duodenal ulcer. In your exam nowadays you are having the MCQ type of questions, or otherwise before they will ask you the differentiation also for 5 marks, isn't it, for 2 marks. So which is the differentiation? What is the main differentiation in the gastric ulcer and duodenal? Mostly means what you have to write. One more point you have to add here. What do you mean by gastric? What do you mean by duodenal? Gastric ulcer means what? Mainly it is wet, which one? The stomach ulcer. Duodenal ulcer means what? Here the common part is what? In which area it will happen? It will produce in the duodenum. Okay, first the small intestine. This is less common type. Most commonly duodenal ulcer is there. So most common type. Okay. Different mucosal defense is deficient mucosal defense is most significant factor. Here, what is the main causative agent? Deficient mucosal defense. Protective layer is deficient, reduced. That's why the gastric ulcer. And here in the duodenal ulcer, due to hyperacidity. That's why we call it, no? The gastric ulcer, when we will have the milk, then due to the food, pain is there. And here, if the empty stomach, we will have the pain, isn't it? That is we call it as hunger pain, isn't it? So hyperacidity, due to hyperacidity, duodenal ulcer, and due to deficient reduced mucosal this protective layer, due to this the gastric ulceration is there. This pain where it is, epigastric pain is seen. Epigastric pain here, okay, above the umbilical region, below exactly to the this diaphragm. Okay, this one severe and spasmodic pain is our overall pain is there, abdominal pain. Okay, severe and spasmodic pain is there. We can't control sometimes. pain aggravates immediately after intake of the food. When you will have the food, that time the pain will have. Otherwise, no food, no pain. Okay. But here exactly opposite. Pain when if you not having the food in the stomach, that time it causes the pain. Due to what? Cause is like that only, no, hyperacidity due to secretion of more HCl, more that aggressive agents. Due to that, the pain is there. If we will have food in the stomach, then no pain. Okay, pain precipitates usually 3-4 hours after the fooding. Means what here? The emptying of the stomach will take place. No, after 3-4 years. Sorry, after 3-4 hours. When we will have the food, 3 hours at least it is remain into the stomach, isn't it? When it will emptying, that time we will get the pain. So that's why here what we recommended, meals after 3-4 hours. Meals we have to have the intake of the food within 3 hours or 3-4, every 3-4 hours we have to have the food. Okay. Omitting is less common. Sorry, omitting is here common because when we will have the food, due to presence of the food, pain is there. So there may be chances it is the omitting, but here rare chances. No, there is no, actually no omitting is there, but here omitting is common. Okay, weight loss is usual because no food, na. So that's why what, when you will have food, that time what happen? Pain is. So what the patient will do? Avoid the food. They will avoid the food. So that's why what happen? If weight loss is there, isn't it? I know exactly opposite. Every 3-4 hours, these patient will eat, isn't it? So that's why weight gain is there. Or otherwise, sometimes no change in the weight is there. Hemorrhage is occasional. Hemorrhage is occasional, and here the hemorrhage is bleeding is more common. Okay. No seasonal variation is there, but seasonal variation is high. Seasonal variation is high. Okay. Daytime pain is more common and night pain is usual because in the night we are sleeping 6-7 hours, isn't it? So night pain is there. In the night also they have to have this one. Otherwise they will not relieve the pain. When they will have the food, they will relieve the pain, isn't it? So night pain is usual here, but here daytime pain is because sometime what happen, we are not eating. So what the patient will do, they will eat here, try to eat there. But what happen? Pain is there. When there is food in the stomach, immediately there is a pain. So daytime we will have, nighttime we will not have pain. Okay, so daytime only the pain is there. Okay, we are trying to eat something, isn't it? Daytime only, nighttime nobody will. So no pain in the night, but here daytime the pain is there. Usual age 50 years, above 50 years, and here within, in between 40 to 50 years, within 40 to 50, but here above the 50 years. Okay, this is all about the differentiation between the gastric and duodenal ulcer. One more point you have to add, this common location is, means what? Gastric means only, the name itself suggests stomach ulcer, and the duodenal means what? Which part? Duodenum. Okay, you add here. Okay. This is all about your ulceration. Understood? Ulceration, gastrointestinal system, peptic ulcer. Understood? Now we will stop here only.